and welcome to today's news review. I am Sergio Brito. It's less than 24 hours since the announcement of coronavirus entering the Gambia. Our editor Lamin Jai has been finding out how life is now unfolding for Gambians. Also, Dr. Ismaila Baji, the Chief Executive Officer of Innovax Global, will be speaking to me on the virus. We will also have economist Mamadou Sabali, who will also speak to me on the impact of the coronavirus from an economic point of view. Stay with us. But first, we will take a look at the papers as usual. We will start today with the Standard newspaper. And the Standard newspaper is reporting that the coronavirus finally hits Gambia, and a new Chief of Defense Staff urges soldiers to remain apolitical. Jammeh will be APRC candidate in 2021, says Rambo Jatta. And of course, UDP asks a government to be transparent and firm on the coronavirus. Let's now take a look at some of these stories in detail. Coronavirus hits Gambia. Health Minister Dr. Amadou Samate last evening announced that the Gambia has registered its first case of coronavirus, COVID-19, in the country. In the televised statement, Minister Samate declared, "We would like to inform the public of a confirmed case of COVID-19 who is currently in isolation and receiving excellent medical care at the Medical Research Council Clinic in Fajara." He was quoted as saying, "This is different from the two suspected cases from Indonesia that tested to be negative. This announcement marks the first case of COVID-19 in the Gambia. This particular confirmed case of COVID-19 is a lady in her 20s who returned to the country on Sunday from UK through the Banjul International Airport." The new Chief of Defense Staff urges soldiers to remain apolitical. The newly appointed Chief of Defense Staff, Major General Yankuba Drame, has urged the Gambian soldiers to be professional and avoid politics. He was speaking as he took over from outgoing CDS Lieutenant General Masane Kinte. Drame paid tribute to Kinte for his exemplary and faithful service to the nation and her people during his time in office. And then Jammeh will be APRC candidate in 2021, said Rambo Jatta. The deputy party leader of the opposition APRC has said that former President Yahya Jammeh, who is in exile in Equatorial Guinea, will again lead the party in the 2021 presidential elections. He was quoted as saying, "Yahya Jammeh will be coming back very soon, and we are very sure he will be able to meet the IEC criteria." Usman Rambo Jatta told Star FM's Wake Up show to be aired today. Asked if Jammeh will not be barred by the new constitution, Rambo said they were aware of that, but the draft constitution is not going to pass the referendum. He was quoted as saying APRC is going out 100% to vote against it because we are not going to vote to a constitution that will bar Jammeh from contesting. And I am sure that the UDP too is going to vote against it because it does not favor them. And the final story on the Standard newspaper, UDP asks a government to be transparent, firm on corona. The United Democratic Party has urged the Gambia government to be transparent in reporting confirmed cases of the coronavirus in the country. Addressing a press conference on the matter yesterday, the UDP leader, Usainu Dabo, said, "We can only urge government to be transparent because, after all, it is in the interest of government to be transparent." He was quoted as saying, "Even if there are 500 cases of coronavirus, we should say so. That will help our weak health system to get support from those who are endowed with resources, both human and material. But if we downplay it, it will cause havoc and we will not get assistance from anybody," Dabo said. I think that's all we have from the Standard newspaper. Let's take a look at the Point newspaper. The headlines and the stories are pretty much the same, except for public gatherings banned, school and universities closed from today. In the bid to prevent the spread of the novel coronavirus, COVID-19, President Adama Barrow has declared that all public gatherings are suspended henceforth. This suspension includes all international and local conferences, workshops, and seminars to be hosted in the Gambia. Mr. Barrow said in a televised address on Tuesday night as he outlined some preventive measures his government has put in place against the spread of COVID-19. That's all we have for you on the newspapers. Let's take a break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. The Gambia government, through the Ministry of Health, yesterday announced that a Gambian lady was receiving medical care at the Medical Research Council after she tested positive for coronavirus. It marked the first confirmed case of coronavirus in the Gambia, and the news is now impacting almost everyday sector of Gambian life. Our editor Lamin Jai reports.
It has been less than 24 hours since the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmado Samate, confirmed or announced that the Gambia recorded its first case of the novel coronavirus. Fear has been intensifying here in the Gambia. As soon as this announcement came, people started scrambling for options. And this basically has affected almost every sector of Gambian life. What we have also seen today is that Brussels Airlines has decided to temporarily suspend its flight operations beginning 21st of March until around the 19th of April. And this is on the part of the government. What we have seen is that President Adama Barrow addressed the nation yesterday, and during that he did declared a ban on mass gatherings. All public gatherings have been banned in the Gambia. What has happened today, we have seen the National Assembly suspending business. We have also seen the TRRC also suspending public hearings. So what we are doing now, we are trying to go to various places to see what really is happening there, beginning at Brussels Airlines office here in Senegambia.
Sindi jang kom dingon nabe communique kan ne kabrin last weekend also Monday ay Brussels Airline contact ya ke nyinin ka fon to la flight be bola jandem be sey la lungo minna wolem 23 March ikay ko han to la flight man hani problem so ton tolbe bono la jande so kunun ntatam binki mala sadadula so ngana kozinol midje ikonya ko e bina airline ol be soron na le last flight mu somaleti on the 19 so ndimma kon sinana jambi nsina information on nyinin ka jam fana bi bari nata ye bundal sorong imam bunda ele adu ka yele 9 o'clock le so man hani information so to tol bulo kono jang.
I don't know what I'm going to do right now. I'm really confused. I don't know what to do because if there is no flight going, so yalo the problem you know. So yung virus be carrying, so imalo when le flight be yele la kotenke, you know, ibari be do kola o ibe kwela nyame, so it's a problem.
Yes, we were supposed to go home on Monday. I know they say they are stopped going on Sunday or no, Tuesday we are going home. So they stopped going on Sunday or Saturday. So what are we going to do now? Are we going to stay for 1 month more? That is the problem.
There was no Brussels Airlines official at hand to speak to us.
No TV?
No, nothing. No media.
No, we just want to know what is happening. They are saying that they were here since 9
I was talking to my customers, not to the media. Sorry.
Thank you.
No.
The customers are in some limbo.
You know, the customers are here to find out if they can have their seats on the flights to go back, because we already got our tickets to go back, and they are the airlines who sold us tickets. Now there's nobody here to answer our questions. This lady is saying that the flights are full, and Thursday is the last day for the flights to get out. So how are we going back?
Come from the Dutch consulate.
Yes.
I asked what they say. Brussels Airlines is responsible that everybody who have a flight ticket to come back, they have the responsibility to bring you back.
Exactly.
But they don't answer. I stand from yesterday afternoon in the queue. This morning, stand 4 hours here. No information, nothing. They say internet is not working.
Brussels Airlines, in a letter on Tuesday to its customers, however, said passengers whose scheduled flights do not take place in the next 7 days are requested to refrain from contacting our town office or the service center in the coming days. This way, they give the agents the opportunity to first take care of those customers who have a prompt departure. We are putting all our efforts into restarting our operations after the crisis. The coronavirus crisis is paralyzing almost every sector of Gambian life. President Adama Barrow on Tuesday banned mass gatherings and as well ordered all schools and the university to close.
So realizing how vulnerable people are during public gatherings, I hereby declare that all public gatherings are suspended henceforth. These suspensions includes all international and local conferences, workshops, and seminars to be hosted in the Gambia. All schools, including universities, madrasas, and daras or majlis, will be closed from Wednesday, 18 March 2020 for 21 days.
Students at the University of the Gambia, for example, now do not really know what their future looks like.
Really, it really affects us because, seeing even yesterday we are told that at the School of Nursing we shall have our midterm exams on the 26th. So, since yesterday this is published that there will be no schools for 21 days, it means that we cannot have that midterm exams. You see, and we don't know when this is going to end. For example, if the virus is not being contained, the cases go beyond more than 1, 2, 3. Nobody knows if the time is going to be extended again before this virus can be contained. So we don't know really when we are going to resume school. Nobody is promised that. So it's just like 21 days. After 21 days, no one knows if it is going to be extended or not extended. So you can say not going to school, not doing anything, sitting at home. It can even affect us like repeating the whole semester again. It's all possible. So it's really bad for us, really bad for us.
I am not really happy that the university has been closed as a result of the coronavirus confirmed case in the Gambia, because this will really affect this learning of the students, because you are aware that the University of the Gambia doesn't offer online teaching programs. So long as it is shut down and students are not attending lectures, it will really interrupt their process of learning to finish. Some of them are in fact in their final semesters, and this will really interrupt them.
That Job Comprehensive Junior and Senior Secondary School lies just across the University of the Gambia on MDI Road. It's eerily quiet here. Classrooms are empty.
It's a very good move because schools, when you go, you have almost about 40, 50 students in a class, and if schools continue, it's not safe. It's not safe. I think this is why they have come up with this statement. Yeah, but again, we here, many schools are on their exams, the second term exams. Especially here, we have a mock exam for our grade 9 and our grade 12. We started this on Monday, and the exam is supposed to finish by Friday. But in the morning, even at night, many parents call me to find out whether we are going to continue with our exams. But what I told them is that, fine, and this is a declaration made by the president. Now, we are going to suspend these things, everything for us, until when we resume back. Yeah, when we resume back, we can continue with our exams. But in the morning, some students were here. I myself came in there early in the morning and tried to disperse them, for let them go home, because the declaration has already been made by the president.
The educationist is now worried about contact hours.
The contact hours is very important. 21 days, students are not going to school. They're going to lose contact hours. Now again, and these 21 days from today, one can say it will be up to on the 8th of April. Now, we're supposed to start our Easter holiday on the 3rd of April to the 20th of April. Now, if this continues, students are going to use a lot of contact hours. And how are we going to recover that?
The announcement of coronavirus in the Gambia resonated at the Serekunda market too. There were reports of prices of food commodities shooting up as soon as news emerged of the deadly infection. This trader, however, says prices remain where they were.
Lulu kay taw nga do yama ko yegal man malo man ko jali mako non ne ko ndi still now America mo fi dege na jox ba $1,160 lola ko dia lola nek ja still now waaw yokka kay mom ya ma wone yokuna yeguma wone yokuna
way mba yokka dina am
no foguma dina am de hana su ñaké rek su way su ñakuna fo yokka du am de man kay hana fona yokka du am de foguma ko dina am waaw
way legi naka business bi depuis yeen bi ngeen yigé coronavirus bi ak legi naka business bi fan la nek
still man business bi muy mel nu melon dal dara wañekul de waaw.
This meat dealer is saying he was only hearing about the virus coming into the country.
Waaw loolu de dégg naa ko ni léegi nii laa ko dégg ci yow laa ko dégg aussi dégg naa nit ñi ko ay benn nag quoi waaye daal laaj yow moom dégg naa ñu koy wax de ñu ngi koy wax de waaye daal li ma ci xam daal mooy moom su fekkee dugg na ak duggut yëpp na nit ñi fagaru rek ndax comme ni ñu koy déggee ci àdduna bi yëpp mu ngi yàq àdduna ci loo xam ne wax dëgg yàlla man dama jàpp ne balaa la rek boo xam ne suñu borom moo ko andi moo ko wàcc ci kaw jaam yi bëgg ñu delluwaat ci moom fàttalikuwaat ko xam ne moom moo ñu moom te moom àdduna moom lépp man loolu laa jàpp man maa jàpp ne balaa la boo xam ne yàlla moo ko wàcc ci àdduna rek ndax boo xoolee ci réew yi ko njëkkee daanaka ñooy réew yëpp doole ci àdduna bi mu jaaxal leen trop doo ak ñun ñi nga xam ne amuñ doole ay benn kon nañ jàpp ne man li ma jàpp balaa la boo xam ne yàlla moo ko wàccee ci àdduna bi doomu aadama yi fàttaliku suñu borom xam ne yàlla mi ngi fi jógu fi man laa ko gisee daal.
naka sa business bi mbaa lii affecté sa business.
waaw non xam nga loolu moom bu ñu koy wax ci ab dëkk moom xam nga rek day wàññi lépp lay wàññi du yàpp bi rek njaay yëpp la wàññi parce que nit ñi kenn ku ci ne fi ñu toll nii da nga tiit ba pare li nga amakus ni da nga jéem a xool noo karkarle xam nga loolu nit ñi doxee business bi fi ñu toll benn business doxut waaye xam nga rek nit ak li mu xam il faut bu xëy ci loolu lay dem loolu la rek daal.
So from here at the Serekunda market to schools to even Bantabas, the mood is one of fear and uncertainty. Less than 24 hours since it was confirmed that coronavirus has entered the country. The future really no one knows what it holds. Lamin Jai reporting for the Fatu Network News Review. It has been less than 2.
Welcome back. And now we are joined by Dr. Ismaila Baji, who is the CEO of Innovax Global. Welcome to the Fatu Network's News Review, Dr. Baji.
Thank you for having me.
It's an honor. It was never a question of if, but when for the case of the Gambia, considering the fact that our neighboring countries had suspected cases, had confirmed cases of COVID-19. And there seems to be panic all over the place. But as a medical practitioner, what is your assessment of the entire situation so far?
No, I think most of the panic, it's to be expected as well too, because the idea, we've seen what impact it's had across the world. So we knew it was a matter of when, not if. But I think some part of the panic stems from maybe not having all the information, which I think should be what we should focus on now, to almost plan for the worst, right? You hope for the best, but you plan for the worst. And the planning, this is one of those cases where one person can't do it. The whole community has to be involved in the process because your well-being is now in my hands. So that's also a shift in how we see diseases and ailments, where it's not like, let me run to the healthcare facility. No, we need to do, what can I do as an individual now to make sure I'm protecting my neighbors, my grandmother, my son. And it all stems from information, because viruses is not new to mankind. We've had viruses throughout human history. But every single time when it comes, obviously, the virus, we have to go through the virus to learn the virus, get immunity to it. But information is at the core of it. So as scary as it is, the focus should be is, where could I get the most accurate information, starting with the World Health Organization, trickling down to our ministries of health. But now, once we have that information, how do we make sure the same information that our doctors, our pharmacists, our nurses have, how do we get it to the taxi driver who's carrying 200 passengers a day? How do we get it to the market woman who's selling, 2 kilos of tomato almost every hour? That's where the focus should be, to understand what it is, because we have the advantage of seeing what it's done to the rest of the world. So now it's time for us to more act and just kind of do what we have to do.
And talking about the information here, which is very important, it has to be accurate. But everyone seems to be an expert all of a sudden regarding this issue. I mean, as a medical practitioner, what do you have to say?
So I think, and I'm glad you said that, because I even tell people that I'm not an expert on coronavirus, but I know the best information I could get to deliver responsibly to somebody else is from the World Health Organization. So the information that the whole world, we're trying to catch up to the virus. So every single day, we're finding out new information. They just announced that now they have this trial called the Solidarity Trial, where now a lot of nations are experimenting with some antiretroviral drugs. Drugs that used to be used for HIV, drugs that used to be used to treat Ebola, drugs that used to be used to treat malaria. So there's a lot of testing. So the science community, the medical community, they're all coming together to try to chase the virus. But the information is very, very important, where unless you're quoting the World Health Organization, the Center of Disease Control from the US, the NHS from the UK, it's really important to make sure we're not spreading information, because that's why you see a lot of information that's going back and forth. And that's the scariest part, because misinformation could be very, very deadly, because sometimes it could make people not take it too serious or cause more anxiety by giving information that's not accurate.
Right. And of course, we woke up to the entire country wearing face masks and gloves. What's up with that?
So yes, I think that's something we have to clarify, right? The face mask, I'll start on its design. Most of the face masks are designed as something that is disposable, meaning it's not designed for you to wear it and use it every single day. And the face mask is actually designed to protect the public from an infected person, not a healthy person from the public.
Oh, not the opposite.
Right? And the people who need it most are our healthcare professionals, our nurses, our doctors. So the country will actually benefit more if everybody who had gloves, everybody who had masks, literally went to a hospital and said, here you go, because you guys need it the most.
Yeah.
And if we talk about how the disease, what we understand about the virus, how it's spread through droplets, meaning if somebody sneezes, if somebody coughs, they could emit, and they're infected, they could emit the droplets. So if I'm close enough to you, you could inhale the droplets, or if it lands on the surface, I could touch it with my hands, and then I infect myself through my mouth, my nose, or my eyes. So even the logic of wearing a mask that covers your nose and your mouth, the one organ that's always open every single day is your eyes. So it's actually not as effective as people think it is. So it's a visual, it shows that you're protected, but it's counterintuitive. Now, if you have symptoms and you suspect that I may be infected and I have to go out in the public, then yes, wear a mask. Because remember, you're just containing those droplets from infecting people around you. But the people who need it most are our healthcare professionals, our nurses, our doctors, our pharmacists, any healthcare professional who's in contact with people that may or may not be sick. So that's one thing I want to understand. That's why the World Health Organization actually tells you that. What's more effective is washing your hands. Our hands, if we could be conscious of what our hands are doing at all times, it actually will be a little bit more effective. And then you have the economic aspect of it as well too. Like, don't spend too much money buying a mask. Don't spend too much money buying hand sanitizers. If you have soap and water and you're washing your hands effectively, that's equally as effective, if not more effective, than paying $700 for a small bottle of hand sanitizer. Then you could buy soap for an entire compound with that money. So we also have to be very pragmatic and thoughtful in how we approach it. But the mask, it's not designed to protect you from the public.
It's the total opposite.
Yeah.
And now that we have registered one case, what do you expect from now?
So I think what's important for people to understand too is we cannot treat this as if this one lady brought coronavirus to the Gambia, right? So it's nuanced. When you say we've registered, that means we've tested the first person that the test came out positive. So we cannot say that it's the first case in the Gambia. It's the first test that has proven to be positive, right? But the virus throughout the world, what makes it very difficult too, more people who are spreading it are infected but don't have any symptoms. So you're asymptomatic, meaning I could be infected right now. I don't have a fever. I don't have a cough. I'm breathing just fine. Those are actually the most deadly because then you feel okay and you're out and about, right? So unless there was a scenario where every single Gambian citizen was tested up until the day before yesterday, and then the day after we tested one, then you could assume that. But we always should have assumed that the world, we traveled so much, Senegal is close, the virus has been around. So the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence, right? So we have to approach it that way. But now that it's here, it's just a sobering reality that, okay, now we need to act. Right. And it's not waiting for somebody to act. Now all of us have to make sure the message is spread the right way, which is why information. Let's get one information and then make sure that same information in every single local language trickles down. That's the most responsible thing to do.
It is very important. Is there any particular group of people that are more susceptible to this virus?
Yes. So what the world is seeing, in case of Italy, for example, Italy has one of the world's largest population of elderly people. Yeah. So the effects of the disease, because it affects your immune system, obviously, and it's a respiratory disease. So we're talking about our elderly, people 60, 65 and older, but also people whose immune system is not as strong. Right. So people who could have HIV, people who could be on medications that bring down your immune system, people, smokers, people who have pre-existing conditions, so our diabetic, our asthma patients. Anybody whose immune system is not as strong becomes more susceptible. Yeah. Which is why from a community standpoint, the responsibility, the healthier you are, the more responsible you should be, because you're not doing it for you. You're doing it to protect your grandmother. You're doing it to protect a friend who may be sick, people who are on dialysis, a lot of people who their immune system is not as strong. That's the most vulnerable people, at least from what we're seeing so far.
And finally, Doctor, what do you have to say to the Gambian people, particularly during these trying times?
Information. And this is one of those moments where we cannot sit back and say, Yala Bana, Bana Kosiloho Yala. We're a praying society, which is great. I think we will get through this, but we have to respect it. And we have to understand the little things that we do, meaning let's not shake hands anymore. You know, you could greet somebody to looking at them, you know, doing whatever gesture you want to do, washing your hands every single time. But most importantly, communicating the right information everywhere to make sure everybody knows where, even a taxi driver, every passenger that comes in, they could be like, okay, I'm saying hello to you, but remember, when you're coughing, cough in your elbow. Or don't shake hands next to your partners. Let's be very, very careful. So every single person should get the same message of things that we can do. And the rest, science and medicine will catch up to the virus. But we just have to go through whatever it is until we build immunity as a whole. But we will get through this. But the responsibility has to be on every single person, and we cannot take it lightly.
Right. Thank you very much there, Dr. Ismail Abati. It was great having you here on the show.
Pleasure. Thank you so much.
And now we will go for a short break, and when we are back, we'll be joined by economist Dr. Mamadou Sabally.
TAF Africa Global is proud to launch the Moria Gardens, conveniently located in Brufut, 5 minutes off the Brufut Highway. Moria Gardens is set to comprise of 20 fenced and gated service plots with sizes ranging from 264 to 420 meters square. Unique features include water and electricity infrastructure, solar street lights, all-weather roads and scenic gardens. We offer a 10-year mortgage plan with a 25% equity down payment in partnership with GT Bank, Trust Bank and EcoBank. For more information, please contact 376-2333 or 776-2333 or visit our offices at Madiba Mall at TAF Brufut Gardens opposite 5-Star Hotel.
welcome back. And now we are trying, okay, he's here with us. Sabali, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you for granting us this interview. And you're welcome to the Fatu Networks News Review once again.
Thank you.
So you've listened to the president's speech yesterday, and a lot of people have said that he came up with some solutions that they think he's not looking at the bigger picture here. Some people are saying that he is calling for the closure, for public gatherings to stop. He's also shut down schools, but people think that the bigger thing is he needs to shut down our borders. And what do you think about this, especially from an economist point of view, considering the fact that this is a country that mostly depends on imports?
Well, I think we must acknowledge that the president and his team have finally done something geared towards controlling this pandemic. But the fact is, when the outbreak started, Barrow was touring the country doing political rallies. Practically that was it, this excuse of inaugurating projects that were never initiated or implemented by him. It's just a shabby excuse. He was campaigning, and I remember doing an open letter based on this coronavirus, advising him to stop his gatherings. He didn't. When he finished all these rallies, he still came to State House and called the crowd. So that's bad enough to start with. We acknowledge now they are ready to act fine, a little bit late. But in terms of closing the borders, I think at the very least we should not allow any airplanes to come from any countries that have confirmed cases of coronavirus. The way the business cycle works, I believe we have enough stuff in the country to feed us at least for the next few weeks. So economic considerations should be secondary when the very lives of people are at risk.
Sabali, do you think that this global pandemic could be detrimental to Gambia's economy, even in the short run? Do you think that?
Absolutely, it's going to affect us. I've heard some figures bandied around by the finance minister at the National Assembly. They're projecting that they're going to lose at least a month's value of a month's worth of revenues, which is credible because Gambia is a small open economy and we import a lot of stuff, and customs duties make a considerable chunk of our revenue. So that effect will be there. I've seen messages circulating on WhatsApp advising people not to use Fogajai, that's used clothing, and I know that's going to affect my Badi Bunka businessmen at Albert Market, so that effect is there as well. And the thing continues to evolve, so definitely there will be an economic impact. I have seen somebody complaining on social media that they started increasing the price of commodities like rice,
food items,
which definitely is going to hurt everybody, but especially the Kiankas who love eating.
Well, it seems like people are already hoarding food, but do you think Gambian households will have enough purchasing power to buy items and store them, considering the status of our economy? I think most of the people they get their food from hand to mouth. Do you think that is possible?
Yeah, absolutely. I just sent somebody to buy me a bag of rice and drop it at my house. And I know a lot of people are doing that. But you are right, a lot of people live from hand to mouth, and government should definitely consider. I know they've already started looking for funds around. I think government should seriously, and I don't like this business of a problem happening and government rushing to donors. For God's sake, we have a budget, even if it means doing a supplementary appropriation. Government should have something at hand to help vulnerable communities and families, especially those living up country, to shore up some level of resources, at least the basics. Food should not be a problem, no matter how serious the situation is.
Thank you very much, there, Momodu Sabali. It was good having you here. Thank you very much for granting us this interview.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Well, this now brings us to the end of this edition of the Fatu Networks News Review. Do join us tomorrow if you can. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.
Quality is not a day's job, it's a daily job. That means it's a continuous journey of pursuing the best that can be obtained in a product or in a service. So in other words, quality cannot be left out in any business, be it a product that a company is providing or even a service that the company offers to the public, be it locally and even internationally. In continuation of the quality journey, that is to further strengthen the foothold of quality in the Gambia Standards Bureau, who have been partnering with the Youth Empowerment Project and the ITC, who are the implementer agency of the Youth Empowerment Project Quality Management Component, a number of companies have submitted applications to have trainers attached to them in the form of coaches. And these coaches have been attached subsequently, and they have been providing guidance to various companies as to how they can promote the culture of quality, as well as how to make their products better.
Currently, we are the manufacturers of Lima full cream milk powder. We have a dynamic workforce of over 60 young Gambians. Prior to meeting the quality coaching team, we had a number of challenges. We had a lot of loose sachets, which led to huge losses, which we weren't able to quantify at that point in time. But after having met with the coaching quality team and through a series of induction processes that they put us through and activities, we were able to identify a technical issue with one of our machines, which was actually leading to the loose sachets that we were having, and we were able to quickly resolve that.
The main focus of quality is reducing defects, either in a product or in a service. So once you are able to reduce the defects, you reduce the losses, then you increase your output, and consequently the profits also go up.
Through their recommendations also, we were able to start using pallets for our finished goods. And overall, they've just added value to us. And one key thing they've helped us to learn was that quality is a choice out of many alternatives.
We worked more on our data management. Like before, at the end of the production period, we used to record the number of production we have on each product at the closing time. But when they came, they give us an idea, like to do the hourly production record. Then every hour what number of packets you produce on 0.5 and 1.5. So if there is any delay, it will reflect on the records. Efficiency also improve because we learned something from them, like around the table where we slot the calf seeds. Before, many people were seated around the table. So when they came, they give us an idea as to how to use our staffs in order to be able to be more efficient. So we implemented that. It improved the speed of the production.
We were facing challenges on our labels, and then we were also facing challenges on how we are going to measure our bottles.
Looking at their breed of production, and then their interest that is being generated over the last year during the program, and then their processing system, it's been more efficient and then very productive as at now. Yeah.
We were using a local way of filling our bottles. We try to buy tank, and then we use that tank to fill our bottles in a civilized way. So they also help us in that.
Quality is more than quantity.
So the focus is placed on both quality and safety, because in order to go beyond the national borders and be able to get the foreign exchange that we yearn for, then our products must be found to be fitting in order to be exported to European markets, the American market, and even within Africa.